so loud. They might hear you.
But what if they're in trouble? What if—
No one can hear you. It's in my dreams, and it won't ever leave. Adventure Time. A show for children, they said. Well, could have fooled me. The episode starts out normal enough with Finn and Jake chasing a deer that's rampaging within the Candy Kingdom. But things take a slight turn for the worse when the deer gets the better of Finn and relentlessly breaks both his legs. Finn wakes up after an undisclosed time later in a hospital bed mirroring that of the movie 28 Days Later. He wakes up to find his legs on a cast, but more importantly, finding himself to be utterly and completely alone. Managing to make his way into a nearby wheelchair, he ventures out only to reinforce his suspicions that the Candy Kingdom is as deserted as the hospital. But what's that? He is not alone. Finn turns around and finds a familiar face. Finally, some solace. Things will surely be safe now that Jake's around.
I think so.
But after a brief conversation, it doesn't take long for Finn to realize that something's amiss.
Don't worry. Ouch. They're all hiding.
But in the absence of any other points of reference, Finn goes along with his brother's idea that everyone has disappeared in the preparation for Jake's surprise birthday party. Still giving Jake the benefit of the doubt, he goes about the rest of the day trying to bait out the alleged party throwers. But as the scene cuts to an overlooking shot, it's made clear that he is truly alone. Throughout this whole episode, there's something fucky going on with Jake. Every time he mentions his surprise party, his noggin starts hurting. Compartmentalization is a trick our brain uses to protect us from things that might overwhelm us or things that have been proven to cause us pain. Imagine compartmentalizing as your brain taking a piece of fact or perhaps a memory that it'd rather get rid of, and traps that isolated event into a sealed room or compartment. Compartmentalizing isn't inherently dangerous or in fact uncommon. Not only is it a great way to solve equations, but it's a natural way to divert your attention to the things that matter in the given moment. It's a way to separate your emotions from your actions, and it's what keeps most of us from breaking down at work. But for it to be healthy, we have to learn to confront it, at least eventually. And it's when you block it out completely and throw away the key that things might take a turn for the worse. So let's go back to our scenario. Jake saw or lived through something traumatic while Finn spent time unconscious. And it's something he'd rather forget. So his brain compartmentalizes that information, but the tragic event still occurred and shaped the world around it. Its action had a result, and in this case it's the candy people being absent from their kingdom. So for his brain to make heads or tails of the situation, it came up with a new scenario to fill the void of the absent one. Usually there are people about. Why is the Candy Kingdom empty? Oh, because they're hiding, that's why. And why would they be hiding? Well, it's my birthday. That's obvious. Basically, every time Jake's forced to confront the absence of the people in the kingdom, he's also suppressing the real reason of why that is. And each and every time he convinces himself, he digs himself further and further into a fantasy world, into the lie that he's created for himself. Oh, fuck. Nighttime falls quickly thereafter, so Finn and Jake partakes in a dinner over the so-called hobo fire. It's at this point Finn starts questioning Jake's theory about the surprise party. Jake doesn't want to hear it. Finn proceeds by trying to convince his brother that the citizens might be in danger. Having a hard time to argue with his reasoning, Jake enlarges himself to end the conversation in an attempt to prevent himself from remembering, and then promptly goes to sleep. When the night has grown darker, the deer once again makes an appearance. Seemingly uninterested in Finn, it just looks around and then leaves with a goal in mind. Finn overhears voices coming from a nearby sewer drain. It becomes apparent that Jake has no intention to ever resolve the trauma he's gone through, and that half a year has passed since Finn broke both his legs. Finn finally comes to terms with his suspicions and decides to check out the well without the aid of his brother. Finn swiftly makes his way towards the sewer drain, but Jake, desperate to keep his fantasy intact, starts chasing him down. Jake gets a hold of Finn, breaks his wheelchair, and it's not long thereafter everything turns black. Waking, tied up to carnival music, Jake has made yet another attempt to drag his brother into the same lunacy that he himself is stuck with. Believing that if he proves that there is in fact a surprise party, he can avoid that which he himself is too afraid to remember. Seeing no other way, Finn tricks Jake to release him from his bonds. and makes yet another attempt to reach the sewer pipe to unfold the truth and get some answers. While within the systems of the sewer, Finn comes upon the Canna citizens stuck to the walls. And with Jake right behind them, he puts 2 and 2 together. The link between Jake's mysterious behavior and the Canna citizens' disappearance has now been made clear to Finn. And as he accuses Jake of his atrocious deeds, the brother before him does not deny. In a fit of rage and disappointment, Finn pummels Jake in the hopes of regaining the brother he used to know. And he pummels again, and again, and again. And it finally worked. Jake reverts back to his old self, but at the same time appears to have forgotten the traumatic experience that made him compartmentalize in the first place. Jake is taken aback as he looks around at the results of the actions Finn accuses him of. In repentance, Jake brings down one of the Canna citizens, Peppermint Butler, who assures us that Jake is not accountable for these events. And as the camera pans, the true villain of the episode is revealed. I don't know about you, but I definitely needed some eye bleach after watching that for the very first time. This episode was a little bit different from the ones I usually make, but if you like Adventure Time, please subscribe and we can talk about it some more. But as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Whew! Not wait.